Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon, and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently read the second book in the quintet of Wrinkle in Time, and the second one is called A Wind in the Door. It's written by Madelene Lengle. I think her last name is pronounced Lengle, but of course I could be incorrect. And this one speaks about Charles Wallace, and Charles Wallace becomes very ill suddenly. He starts seeing dragons, but then we realize that it's a cherubim, and actually the description of the cherubim is more akin to a seraph, if you're familiar with seraphs in the Bible, but I'll let that slide. I thought, well, that's actually an interesting depiction that she would give Progonoscas, or Meg calls him Progo, and there's another being called Lengle, I do believe, and there are fallen angels known as the Enetheroi, and they are those who hate. They are those who cannot be named. And it's very interesting. It's almost like a combination of Fantastic Journey and or Fantastic Voyage, either or. You can call it by whatever title you wish. And the fact that Miss Whatsit, Miss Witch, and Miss Who are not involved in this one. It's just these beings in the Ekathros themselves are those who hate, those who are trying to exterminate. And I thought, why do they sound like the Dalek? They know nothing but hate. And I think, yeah, that's probably similar, but it's actually quite good. And we figure out that Charles has been getting himself into quite a bit of trouble. Not much is new there. He finds himself lost in his own little dream world, and we realize that it's because of the illness due to that. And Meg becomes very concerned for him, and the O'Keeffes become involved in this particular chapter as well. So we have the Murrays and the O'Keeffes, and mother and father are absent, just like they were in the original. Well, they were a presence, but in this one they're a little bit less involved. You still get smatterings of them here and there. So it's more of the, especially Meg is the one who figures out a way to return herself and heal Charles, and it's very intriguing. It's different than anything I've ever read before, and I'd always wondered what the second book was about. Now I know, and yes, it's a continuation, but it is its own story in and of the fact that it contains the characters that we know and love, but we have a completely different storyline. We still have all these other tales that are going on. We have Mr. Jenkins, and then we have a duplicate of him, and that becomes a little bit confusing in and of itself. But I like the fact that when we meet Prognoscas, he is called the Teacher, and I thought, this is kind of like the Watchers. I don't know. Third book, I kind of read some of the titles of the third book, and I thought, this sounds a lot like the Book of Enoch, and I'm extremely intrigued to see where it goes. I really enjoyed the second book quite a bit. It was woefully short, and it ended happily, but it ended with a story that is still ongoing. It's a series, and we know this from the way that it concludes. Although it's wrapped up fairly nicely in a bow, we know that they're not out of the woods yet, and it'll be very fascinating to see what our characters will undergo and what lessons they learn. And I really like this particular one just because it talks about energy becoming matter and matter becoming energy. The two are interchangeable, and I thought, yeah, that's true. And theoretical physics and quantum mechanics, we get quite a bit into that. I thought, okay, we're getting into some very heady topic here that is huh. And she gets into mitochondrion as well, which he has mitochondritis. I thought, what is this, Parasite Eve? And that was the first thought that came to my head, which I love Parasite Eve. Don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite games. But that's immediately where my mind went. And it's something that made me pause immediately. And I wonder if something like that actually occurs, if it really happens, and if maybe that's the cause of spontaneous combustion, because I always had a feeling that maybe it is, because it's the powerhouse of the cell in and of itself. And if it were to get too overworked or too volatile or too excitable, it could definitely cause a lot of damage. And I could see a body definitely bursting into flame and overheating, because it's basically like an engine that goes bad. So it's just a thought. It's conjecture at best. I don't have any evidence of this, but I bet you anything has to do with mitochondritis. But what do I know? But it's you can see that in Parasite Eve. So I'm thinking, yes, that's my theory put to life. But nobody knows if this really happens. Oh well. Anyways, I really enjoyed the book. I thought it was absolutely sensational, and it has a little go fish at the end with Miss Lengle, and it's very revealing and very enjoyable. And then she has the O'Keeffes and the Murrays and what books they are featured in, who they're related to, and it's very helpful if you can keep the character straight. But that's about all I have to say. So until next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, tutti.